The Edge of Knowing by Jason Derek Watson. Chapter 1. Own the Morning, Win the Day. On this particular morning, indistinguishable at first glance from any other, Thomas awoke to the familiar tranquility simulation. For him, waking did not begin with the jarring buzz of an alarm or the intrusion of a chaotic world, but beneath the painted boughs of a tree reminiscent of Van Gogh's Reveries. The contours of this dreamscape blurred gently, like oil brushed upon canvas too quickly. Light, gold and syrupy, bathed the horizon before dissolving into the ether, as if reluctant to leave. As birdsong rippled through the synthetic breeze, each note carefully engineered to trigger micro-elevations in serotonin production, Thomas opened his eyes. The air carried the faint scent of warm cedar and something faintly citrus-like, a signature blend designed by sensory architects to evoke a universal feeling of calm productivity. The leaves above shimmered with dew that never fell, light refracting across their surfaces like tiny polished gems. With a slow exhale, Thomas lifted his head from the pillow. The meditation sequence, meticulously programmed and exquisitely tailored, had already begun, cycling through affirmations with a voice like velvety warmth. It praised his continued service to society, lauded his daily contributions, and gently reminded him that his existence bore weight in the collective machinery of progress. Far more potent than the most elaborate caffeine ritual, it was motivation distilled into code. He rose. As his feet met the sleek floor, his sleeping platform silently retracted into the wall with seamless efficiency. The room he passed through was clinically minimalist, more operating theater than living space. Sterile white tables stood like sculptures, adorned with cuboid artifacts etched entirely in shifting QR sigils. Each wall, deliberately bare, bore a single elegant glyph. Another QR code holding a universe of information lurking under its minimal veneer. The lighting adjusted automatically, not in blinding flares, but in subtle gradients, as though the sun itself had been trained to respect his circadian rhythm. Thomas preferred it this way. After an evening spent weaving through the gaieties of New Hope, glitching was a hazard he preferred to avoid. Therefore, the decorations remained disabled. He had grown accustomed to the quiet dignity of digital austerity. He moved into the bathroom, where the mirror wall responded instantly to his presence, illuminating with sentient awareness. The light did not flicker on so much as bloom, casting his reflection in high fidelity across multiple spectra, visible, ultraviolet, and even neuro-optic. A scan began, gliding invisibly across his frame. From a recessed slot, a thin stream of iridescent mouthwash dispensed into a crystal vessel. He swished, spat, ritualistic and automatic, and watched the mirror absorb the data. Every drop analyzed, every secretion catalogued, every excretion a note in the grand composition of his bioprofile. Once his bodily functions were concluded, the analysis was complete. A second elixir was dispensed, this one fortified, calibrated, and destined for internal transformation. He drank it like one downs a shot. Swift, unflinching, and without ceremony. Simultaneously, he activated the full nano-overlay calibration protocol. Where the meditation had been a gentle nudge into consciousness, this was awakening. Immediately, reality intensified, everything sharpened, every edge gleamed with hidden detail, every sensation hummed with urgency. More, that was the word, the creed of New Hope, with its domed sanctuary of innovation and design. It was etched into its bones, whispered in its algorithms. More cognition, more vitality, more future. The mirror before him no longer merely reflected, it transformed. It peeled away the illusion of glass and opened into a dimensional tableau of living data. Readouts hovered in the air like sacred text. Over his head danced the metrics of neurotransmitter function, cognitive throughput, and hormonal flux. Around his limbs and torso, subtler figures glowed. Immune response thresholds, skeletal stress indexes, gut microbiome fluctuations. To the uninitiated, it would have been an incomprehensible deluge. For Thomas, it was a familiar symphony. He scanned the ensemble for discord. None today. Everything fell within expected tolerances. He stepped away, and the mirror dimmed. A soft hum resonated from beneath the floor, the sound of hidden ducts distributing purified air laced with subtle neuromodulators. The scent shifted to a touch of eucalyptus, a cue his body had come to associate with final preparation. Satisfied, he departed the bathroom. His gait, now refined and fluid, cut through the space like a man reborn. The living quarters had shifted. Gone were the grayscale walls and utilitarian furnishings. In their place, a room of elegance and intention. The aesthetic overlay had reinitialized, draping his environment in opulence. Carefully curated artwork adorned the walls. The furniture seemed carved from thought itself. Smooth, arcing forms with dynamic texture overlays that responded to mood and micro-expression. He approached his wardrobe and assembled his attire with meticulous ease. Though his role was that of a medical specialist, one of the finest in his sector, his clothing suggested nothing of his profession. Instead, he looked like what he truly was, a composed, striking figure of means, stepping into a city that expected nothing less than excellence from its citizens. The window wall brightened as he approached, offering him a panoramic view of Ring 2, structured beauty spiraling outward, polished walkways looping like ribbons around the architecture. The early sun, magnified and softened by atmospheric filtration fields, cast gold across the skyline. Automated transports hummed below, quiet as whispers, while pedestrian flows moved in seamless streams, patterns without collision, algorithms in motion. Thomas paused for a moment, letting it all settle. He was awake now, and in New Hope, awakening was not simply an act. It was a responsibility. The Edge of Knowing, by Jason Derek Watson. Chapter 1. Own the Morning, Win the Day.